Okay, so in part two, we'll focus on some of the conventional historical assignments of the pentagram. It's an ancient symbol that has been assigned various meanings. For the Chaldees in ancient Mesopotamia, it was symbolic of the imperial power extending out to the four corners of the world. For the Hebrews, it was part of the seal of the city of Jerusalem and signified the first five books of the Old Testament, or the Torah. In Egypt of the pharaohs, it was a symbol of the underground tomb. For the Pythagoreans, it was the union of the alpha, or the penta-alpha. For the Taoists, it was the five elements. To Druids, it was a symbol of the Godhead. For Gnostics, it was the blazing star. For the early Christians, it was almost as common as the cross in its association with Christianity. There is a hidden or occult connection between the cross and the pentagram that we'll look at in part 3. The pentagram represented the star present at Jesus' birth, which is now displayed atop the Christmas tree. Later it came to present the 5 wounds of Jesus. For centuries, many Christians understood it as a protective amulet and displayed it at windows and entranceways to ward off evil and misfortune. A similar use is still seen in America, represented by those tin barn stars. It was at the time of the Inquisition that the pentacle first acquired a sinister association. Then many forms of folk religious expression were judged evil, and their pentagram was labeled the witch's footprint. Then the word pagan simply meant country dweller or unsophisticated. The inquisitors claimed the inverted display of the pentagram was a representation of a creature called Baphomet, a deity that did not previously exist in history. And Baphomet actually derived from a troubadour song about a battle between Christians and Muslims, with Baphomet being a corruption or a misspelling of the name Mohammed. Truly, the beast of the inquisitors was a projection of their own tyrannical shadow. Unfortunately, these sorts of historical fallacies persist. Even today, many Christian groups who do not identify with the Catholic Inquisition are ignorant of the pentagram's association with early Christianity and maintain an odd fixation with the delusions initiated during the hysteria of the Inquisition. The pentagram re-emerged during the Renaissance as a hermetic symbol of man as the microcosm. Subsequently, its association with the occult, which simply means hidden, has persisted. Its contemporary association is with neo-pagan religions, particularly Wicca. Wicca itself is a religious practice whose forms have no historical connection to older forms or expressions of folk religion, but do have a significant poetic connection. It is a significant historical symbol in the United States. It was part of Washington's family coat of arms and influenced the design of the American flag as well as the flag of the District of Columbia. And it was on the Mason's apron that Lafayette presented Washington. And about Washington himself, after he defeated the British, many wanted to make him the first king of the United States. He refused. He and many of his fellow generals who were also Masons had not fought to replace one form of despotism with another. They had integrity. Nor was he interested in empire and warned the young nation against becoming entangled in foreign affairs. The only concerns of government were to be for the common welfare of its citizens and the protection of individual liberty. The government no longer has either of these goals. Instead, it pursues empire to control resources for multinational corporations using our national wealth. It cedes our financial policy over to private banks and allows those banks to burden us with usury interest rates. It enters into transnational trade treaties that cede sovereignty to private institutions and disadvantages industry in our own nation. It supports formation of transnational food cartels and drives family farms out of business. This is no different than the collectivization practiced under the Soviet communism. With all of this, it burdens us with national and personal debt and more regulations and laws to control our behavior. It is a great and apparent deceit. So again, in part 3 we'll circle back to the contemporary and spiritual symbolism of the pentagram and its hidden or so-called occult significance.